Hello, my name is Bianca, and this is my video reflection for Module 5, the Environment and Globalization. The first required material was Chapter 3 of IPCC Climate Change Impacts, Adaptation, and Vulnerability. The chapter shared that the basis for assessing climate change policies and decision-making about climate change is sustainable development and equity. It also talks about geoengineering technologies such as carbon dioxide removal and solar radiation management. The chapter helped me learn of the potential but also risks of geoengineering and how we have to treat it with care if we choose to use it. The second required material was Chapter 8 in the book The City of Tomorrow and was called Energy. It walks us through how we went from a very centralized society due to energy, using access to energy as heat and now we have a decentralized model of living that allows for spatial liberation. This is due to technologies such as central heating and climate control technologies on the energy grid. It also introduced the idea of Buckminster Fuller of a global energy grid. I wanted to learn more about the global energy grid, so my additional material was a video called Buckminster Fuller's Global Energy Grid. From the video, I learned that he discovered what he believes the difference between the developed and underdeveloped parts of our planet, which is the availability of electricity. He decided we could connect the world's existing electrical grid to form a planetary energy internet, which would bring power to everyone on our planet. This additional material gave me further insight on his vision and what life would actually be like if we all had access to internet. The last required material for Lesson 5.1 was a guest lecture on biophilic cities by Tim Beatley. The lecture begins by defining biophilia, which basically is the notion that to be happy, healthy, and to lead meaningful lives, we need nature, and it is an intrinsic value for humans. Beatley then walks us through a series of the benefits associated with being in nature, such as lower depression, improved moods, higher creativity, and even an increase of laughter. He then makes the point that biophilic cities are resilient cities that can help against flooding, drought, and heat. The lecture got me thinking about what a post-pandemic biophilic city would be like, which I think it would have more green space to reduce the spread of disease and also improve well-being. The first required material in Lesson 5.2 is a chapter called Globalization, Current Dilemmas. It first makes the case that globalization is driven by two mainsprings, technology and deregulation. Globalization has led to further marginalization of social groups and an increase in global poverty. But it also has had positive potential, such as advancing democracy worldwide and empowering citizens through more access to information. It argues that a better future for globalization will require investments in people and social infrastructure, such as countries that organize for government protection from privatization. The second article is called On Globalization, Geopolitics, and Connectivity. The article is an interview with Parag Khanna, one of the world's leading strategists, authors, and thinkers on globalized world politics. An interesting point he raised was that we're moving towards a world that's not just about countries, but about regions. He left us with a message for students in which I took away that it is important to explore career options that are interdisciplinary to gain an understanding of this complex and interconnected world. The third required material was a trailer for the documentary called Human Flow. The trailer shares the inside life of refugees and people displaced from their homes. An important message I took from the trailer was that it is important to recognize that the world is shrinking and that we as people have to learn to live with each other and choose a path of openness, freedom, and respect. The fourth required material is a video about a migrant sharing his experience traveling at Del Rio, Texas. The video introduces us to John Lafontaine, a Haitian migrant from Chile who came to the U.S. border last September. He speaks of the state of his home countries, Chile and Haiti, and how they struggle to have food, water, electricity, security, health, and education. This video gave me raw insight into the lives of those fighting for what I believe are human rights, basic human rights. It opens my eyes to the privileges that I take for granted and makes me think about how I can support such people. The last required material is a TED Talk called Where on Earth Will People Live in the Future? Parag Khanna, again, gives us a fascinating glimpse of the future and where people can be expected to live, based on many factors that are affecting us now and will continue to affect our growing population. He begins by sharing the alarming facts that the areas where most people live in the world are places that are going to become more unsuitable for human life as temperatures continue to increase. Also, the places that have least temperature increase are the places that are depopulating, especially the wealthier countries of the North. He urges North America to have a quicker and larger migration process to help those that are displaced. I wanted to explore the issue of displacement further, so my last additional material I read was an article called Forced Displacement by the World Bank, which was recommended by my classmate Sophie Melton on the discussion post, which was about, and the article was about how forced displacement is not only a humanitarian crisis, but a development crisis as well. It opened my eyes to the reality that it is necessary that developed countries like ours help refugees to provide them long-term and stable places to live. The overall material for this module challenged me to look at my own privilege and how I can help others in my future career, to share similar benefits that I have had, like the ability to be in peaceful nature and a stable and safe home, and how a way that I can help support them is by how I vote. Thank you.